morning, everybody. How are y'all doing this morning? Hope y'all are having a great Friday morning. That story you guys came up with last night, that was super interesting. And so if you haven't read it, I will post it this morning on our Facebook group so you can read it. Because man, that was certainly interesting. Just to remind you guys some things, we will be having Sunday service this Sunday. We'll have two services, 9 and 10:30. Make sure you guys, your parents have RSVP'd to one of them. And also, we will be doing Sunday school at 9:30 on Sunday morning. So make sure you guys are awake and available for that. We will get you guys out or finished in enough time to get to church on time. So don't worry, you're not going to have to be like, I got to go. And we'll get you guys done in enough time to get to church. So for this morning's devotion, we're going to be in 1 Samuel chapter 3. I almost just said Samuel chapter 3, but that would have made it really confusing. So we're going to be in 1 Samuel chapter 3. What has happened up to this point is that Samuel's mother Hannah has been praying for Samuel, honestly, to have a son, and she's now had a son, and he is serving under this high priest named Eli. And so that's where we're at right now. Okay, so Samuel chapter 3, Samuel is serving under the high priest Eli. Now the young man Samuel was ministering to the Lord under Eli, and the word of the Lord was rare in those days. There was no frequent vision. At that time Eli, whose eyesight had begun to grow dim, so that he could not see, was laying down in his own place. The lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was lying down in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was. Then the Lord called Samuel, and he said, "Here I am," and ran to Eli and said, "Here I am, for you called me." But he said, "I did not call. Lie down again." So he went and lay down. And the Lord called again, "Samuel." And Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, "Here I am, for you called me." But he said, "I did not call, my son. Lie down again." Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, and the word of the Lord had not yet been revealed to him. And the Lord called Samuel again the third time, and he arose and went to Eli and said, "Here I am, for you called me." Then Eli perceived that the Lord was calling the young man. Therefore Eli said to Samuel, "Go lie down, and if he calls you, you shall say, 'Speak, Lord, for your servant hears.'" So Samuel went and lay down in his place. And the Lord came and stood, calling as at other times, "Samuel, Samuel." And Samuel said, "Speak, for your servant hears." Then the Lord said to Samuel, "Behold, I am about to do a thing in Israel, at which the two ears of everyone who hears it will tingle. On that day I will fulfill against Eli all that I have spoken concerning his house, from beginning to end. And I declare to him that I am about to punish his house forever for the iniquity that he knew, because his sons were blaspheming God, and he did not restrain them. Therefore I swear to the house of Eli that the iniquity of Eli's house shall not be atoned for by sacrifice or offering forever." So here we see a heavy threat laid by God. We see that the high priest Eli, his sons, were really mistreating their office of being high priests, and they were really blaspheming the name of God. They were taking it in vain. They were using their position to gain just a whole bunch of stuff. If you really want to read how bad they were, you can go back and read 1 Samuel chapter 2, starting in verse 12. They were not good. But the Lord comes to Samuel, and Samuel thinks that it's Eli that's calling him. So he goes and runs to Eli 3 times during the middle of the night. He's like, "Here I am, you called me." And Eli's like, "No, I didn't. Just go back to sleep, kid." And on the 3rd time, then Eli's like, "Okay, if I'm not calling him, somebody's calling him, and there's nobody else in the temple. It's got to be God." And so he tells Samuel, "The next time you hear the voice call you, say, 'Speak, for your servant hears.'" And so this morning's devotion, what I want to ask you guys is, what is God calling you this morning? How is God calling you? What is God calling you to this morning? What is God calling you to do today? What is God calling you to in this moment? Maybe it's something big. Maybe it's something like you're to be a missionary. Maybe it's something like, maybe it's something big. Or maybe it's something very, very, what would seem little. Maybe it's pray for a neighbor, a friend, a classmate. Maybe it's help another family out. What is God calling you to this morning? Because here's the thing. God is calling. God calls us. God does that. That's what He does. He's calling you to something this morning. I don't know what that is. Maybe you don't know yet. But you know how you can find out? You can find out by saying, "Speak, Lord, for your servant hears." Ask God, what are you calling me to today? I hope to see you guys on Sunday morning. Hope y'all have a good one. And don't forget, we'll be doing Sunday school Sunday morning at 9:30. You guys have a great Friday and have a good weekend.